January 1st, 2023. January, our Bible study is called New Beginnings. The first verse is Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Susan Diamond Paints, and this is Susan. So I'll be working on my EverMoment, my second custom. So this video you're going to be watching here, and I'll just get you caught up on life and things. So Monday, January 26th, I had that day off. That was our Christmas day, since Christmas was only Sunday. That's when I spent Christmas with my parents. So lunch was at 1. Les had an appointment that morning at the chiropractor. He's got himself situated now where they've got him scheduled for every other week like he was supposed to be. He did his x-rays, so that would give him his results of his x-rays on the next, I guess that would be the 9th of January. That's when his appointment will be. So yeah, he had a good appointment. I think his hip area needed to get not really adjusted, but touched on. He kind of knew that. He was feeling it already. So did that, and then went to my parents' house, and then it was so funny because we get there and it's early, like 12:30 or so. Then I was like, oh snap. I said, we forgot the Christmas present that we needed to give. And I said, I should have set it out. And I didn't. So Mom's like, well, can you wait till after we eat? I'm like, yeah, sure, Mom. No worries there. So after we ate and went back home, I'm like 4 miles from my parents' house. So went back home, got my picture, came back. And then we took the dogs outside, played with them a little bit, just kind of sat and talked, and of course then the kids were ready to open their presents. So I'd gotten my oldest niece, Addison, her diamond painting, and kind of went through that, and she'd gotten some magnets, small size ones to do diamond painting. She got some beads also, I think, to make bracelets. So she's getting herself a little bit into the crafty stuff. And then my youngest niece, Emma, she's wanting to do or start perler beads. So I'd gotten, my sister had sent me a link for the perler beads. It's a bead kit and the instruction booklet that goes with it. So she got that, and then we just gave my nephew Jackson. We just gave him money. So. And of course the girls got money too, so just to make it all, even Steven. So, and then I gave my brother-in-law, that's the picture we had to go back home to get. So it was the diamond painting of his dog Gunner. Gunner had passed away, so back in probably around April or so, me and my sister kind of talked about it, and about, doing a picture for Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. So we picked out a picture, and then it kind of went from there, and I got it from EverMoment. So I gave that to him, and, he's a hard person to read. So, I mean, I figured he was happy, with it, and, liked it, enjoyed it and everything, but, he was just a hard person to read. So, so went through the day and, spent time with, my parents, and then, we left probably around 6 or so to go home, and of course I had to go to work Tuesday. So, there was that. So we got home, and I think I played a little bit, or I may have read. I think I read. So, read some, and then, of course, got up to go to work on Tuesday. So I had to come in and work on some affidavits and just do some pretty much catch up from my week out being off. So did all that, and then went to work on Thursday in the office again. So there was a memo that went out last week while I was on vacation of when the last day is for the building. So we have to be moved out, gone by January 25th, I think is the date. It's like a Wednesday. So I was talking about how I wanted the week before that to go ahead and take my computer stuff home. And then that way I would still have a day to go into the office if I needed to, if something didn't work, to get everything set up. So I'll be good to go when that day comes through. So I gotta start bringing stuff home. I have 3 boxes left when we moved from across the street into the building we're in now, which is our building. It's not anymore, but it's already been renamed and everything. I still have 3 boxes of stuff. I mean, you accumulate things over the years, especially when you've been with the company more than 20, which I have been. So I gotta start bringing stuff home and, you know, just quietly bringing it out here to the she shed man cave. So I'll have somewhere to put it. And some of it's like pens and things, colored pens, and so I'll need that, and a box of crayons, I think, because, you know, you go through that time period when you're at work when you need to do some stress relieving, and it was a little lighter and easier times probably a couple of years or so ago when you could actually do, you know, sit there and say, okay, I'm going to take a, you know, break and I'm going to color a picture here. Not quite like that now, especially with the on and off with, you know, being at home and being at work. So and that's going on. So yeah, I gotta start bringing stuff home. That's pretty much what that is, and you know, start hiding things, I guess I should say, so he won't know that I'm bringing crayons home and colored pens home. Of course, I got this box of Hot Pocket hands, you know, the ones that you shake it and it becomes hot, and we were using those as hand warmers and everything because the building was getting so cold, and you know, they went, you know, we were on the first floor, and that we don't get any, even though the heat's on, you just don't feel like you're getting heat. And it's really worse now because the building's so open and not a lot of people in it, and plus all the construction that they're doing, it's just, you know, it was colder air coming through, so I'm dealing with that. So I'd wrap up my blanket at work, so I brought my blanket home, had washed it, and then we had it on my bed, and Leslie's like, this is a really nice little fleece blanket. I'm like, yeah. I said, but it's going back to work. I said, because that's what I wrap up in when I'm cold. So once we're fully out, you know, here, I'm going to bring it out here and then kind of wrap up in it. So even though I have my own heating and air conditioning unit out here, some days it just takes a little bit for me to get used to the building, that I'm cold and I don't feel like I'm warm enough, and I feel ridiculous, you know, bumping the heat up to about 74 degrees in here. And so like the other day I was in here, Wednesday I believe, and Les comes in here, so, oh my God, you got it like a sauna in here. Like, dude, but I'm not feeling anything. I said, the heat's pushing out here, like as soon as you walk in the door, that's where the heat's pushing, because that's where the fan pushes out. But I'm over here in the corner, so I'm like, I'm not getting any heat over here. I said, I'm cold. So I said, that's why I bumped it up. But, you know, eventually it gets the room warm enough that, you know, then I can cut it down and I'm fine. So Friday when I worked out here, I had my hoodie on, but my hoodie was aggravating my back. It would ride up and then my back would itch. I'm like, screw this. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to put a t-shirt on. So I put a t-shirt on and then put my hoodie over it. So then I was, you know, better. I felt better. And then Thursday, I got a project. And, you know, I told y'all, you know, it's the end of the month of the year. And that's when we're really pushing to get, you know, all the money that we can in, so we can finish out the year good. We're finishing out the year for the project that we work on, less than $1 million. So it's kind of disappointing. Usually that's what the mark is that we make. So we're a little less than that. But, you know, we have 2023 to get through and try to get some little more help on what's going to look good, what's not, you know, what's going to work, what's not going to work, and, you know, get help in that area. So then the manager sends a message like at 1 o'clock. So, hey, I need your numbers for this, your numbers for this, your numbers for this. I'm thinking, okay, what numbers are you really wanting from me? I'm like, you want like money numbers? You want like total payment numbers? He's like, oh, total payment numbers, but I need it for, you know, your lockbox and your ACHs. And at one point in time, I had everything in the spreadsheet that we use marked of, you know, if it came in as an ACH or if it came in as a lockbox payment. but things were being inputted into the sheet, and then my numbers got messed up. So we're now on a share file thing where we all three can work in the spreadsheet. And when before it was just me in the spreadsheet, and now I have to get out when they needed to do something. So now we all three can work in it. But some people, moving lines or creating lines, if you don't select the whole row to insert the line, you mess the order of things. And that's kind of what happens. The order of things got messed up, so my numbers were off and my lines were off of, this payment was for this deposit and this payment was for this deposit. So I had to take them all out. So I took them all out and then decided that the notes section of the spreadsheet was not where I wanted to put it. I wanted to put a column over. So I had to do that. So not all the information was in there. So I had to go back to and what I just used was my deposit sheet I would send to our treasury department because they would have to post the payments for me. I used that sheet as my go-by for each day of the month to get all my numbers together. So I started on that Thursday, probably around 2, I guess, 2 or 3, and then finished it yesterday at 4 o'clock. So I got all my numbers and everything in to my manager, even though he was off, so by 4 o'clock yesterday. So I was glad about that, and then I had to get my friend Mary. She had to help me out with some other stuff, like getting things posted so we could, get things done for the end of the year. So everything got posted like it needed to be. So I think all I need to work on when I come back Tuesday will be getting all the check requests called up for the end of the year to get those done next week, since it's the beginning of the week. Because, with them closing end of the year, it was going to be hard to do that. So going to have to deal with that on Tuesday. So then, of course, Monday, I get Monday off. Monday will be my New Year's Day Monday. So now we have, instead of floating holidays, we will get all the federal holidays. So all the federal postal holidays we will get this year. So it's 11 holidays, paid holidays. So have that going on. And then I have decided, crazy me. So for the Goodreads challenge, I told you I was going to probably do around 15. I think I did 10,000 pages again for this go around. I have to look at the group section and see what I'm going to do, since they finally put that chat board up for the turn pages, called less turn pages option. And then of course I'm also doing the 100 Years of Wonders. That's 100 books for the celebration of Disney being 100 years. So that will be books from certain years when things were created and done as far as Disney is concerned. And there's 4 categories with 25 books in each category, so I'm going to do all 4 categories. But basically what it is, you either pick a book published in that year, or it's a book that takes place during that year. So me and my friend were talking about it, Mary, and I was like, yeah, it's just going to be easier for me to find a book published that year as opposed to find a book that takes place in that year. So I said I'm going to have to read some probably really old, maybe classics and stuff to get that year publication date met. I mean, it's in the 19th century, so I mean that's, or 20th century, I guess I should say more. But anyway, so I got some of the stuff that I'm going to do also. So I decided, well, that's just apparently not enough. I want to do 100 books plus the let's turn pages for the number of pages that I'm doing. And then I also put, for myself, audiobook listening to 365 hours in the year, so an hour a day. And then doing serial reads. And this is the challenge for the year, where you read so many books in a series. You can start a new series, you can finish a series, you just have different options that you're going to do. So I want to finish a series, at least get it up to date, and that's the Linda Fairstein series, the Alex Cooper series. So I had gotten book 9 through Amazon Kindle Unlimited, or did Yeah, I got it through Script. So I did a Script subscription. I've used Script before, but I figured Script could help me with the getting with the classics and the getting the books for the early publication dates, and then then I'd use my Kindle Unlimited, and there we go. But for the series that I was reading, the first 9 books everybody has. First 9, Amazon has, Audible has, and Scribd has. But books 10 through 20, no one has. So I was freaking out. It's like, how am I going? And this is before I even decided that I was going to do the serial reads challenge on the group that I'm in on Goodreads. How am I going to finish reading this? Because I was just wanting to finish reading it. She's got 20 books out. I'm almost halfway through it. So it's like, what am I going to do? So, well, let me get on my local library. So I got on my local library where my library card had expired in the beginning of December. So I was like, oh, snaps. And I got to go to the library and get my library card renewed. So that's what I did Tuesday. So even though I live in a small town, we are part of a bigger county, part of their library system. So the library is just like right down the road from where I work. So my lunch hour Tuesday, I just went over there and got my library card renewed. Easy peasy. Because I do mine like I have it on my key tag, keychain with all my other tags for your groceries and all that stuff. So that's my library card. So she scanned it. She verified all my information. She said, okay, you're good for the next 3 years. Okay, great. So as soon as I got out of there, that's when I went ahead and borrowed the book 10 of the Linda Fairstein's Alex Cooper series. So, okay, so now I'm going to use the library for this year, for getting also these other books that I'm reading for the 100 book challenge. So for the finishing series, that's the Linda Fairstein series. It will be 10 books to finish the series because the book 20 is the last book that she has on there. I don't know if she's done writing it yet, but that's the last one that I know of. And then I was like, well, I'll start a series and see how I can get with it. And it has 27 books, I think. And that's the Jack Reacher, Lee Child's Jack Reacher series. Because, we started watching Reacher on Prime. So I was like, okay, I'll start, this series. So I have that one. I bought that one through Amazon, but now that I have my library card renewed, I should be able to get it through the library. Plus, I do a lot of ebooks and Audible, audiobooks, so it should be easy to just get ebooks from the library too, and just borrow it from your library because that's what your library's for. It's free, at least ours are, and you can go and check out your books, and there you go. So that's what my sister's been doing to get herself back into reading. She's been borrowing from her library. She's in a different county than I'm in, so her county library is different from mine, but it's probably all relatively the same because it's just, well, they probably get more because they're a bigger county, but that's it is what it is. So that's what I'll be doing. Is so I will be a patron of my library and borrow books that way, ebooks and audiobooks if I do audiobooks, and then I have my Kindle Unlimited, and then I have that Scribd subscription for 2 months. It will renew itself in February, so I gotta decide if I'm gonna keep it or not, or just go ahead and do what I'm doing with the library. With the libraries, at least especially for the popular and newer stuff, there's holds, so you gotta wait if you want to read something. So I have to deal with that, and whatever is out there right now people want to read. I'm pretty sure the Reacher series is gonna be probably one of those hold things, because I'm sure people are reading that due to the TV series Reacher. So we'll see. So that's what I did Tuesday. I renewed my library card, so I'm kind of stoked and excited about that. And then I think it was Thursday, I discovered a podcast that I was listening to. Well, I just started listening to it on Thursday, but we were talking like Thursday during our stand-up, about reading and things like ebooks and things like that. And, I was talking about renewing my library card. He's like, yeah, and he's in Michigan, so he's talking about, like, he lives in a small town, and He's like, yeah, I need to go. He said, and get me a library card. He said, so I can get some books, borrow some books. He said, all my books are where he previously lived. He previously lived in the state, South Carolina, so not too far from where I live at. So, but his friend was supposed to bring him up, and then they had crazy weather, and then he wasn't able to come up. I think it was last year, or this year one, but he wasn't able to bring them. So his books are with his friend. So he's like, but he said, my thing, he says, about borrowing books from the library, he says the whole, pre-COVID thing, and then people borrowing books with COVID, and, all that good stuff. He'd say, that just, I think, bothers his OCD. So he's like, I just don't know if I can do that. I said, that's why. I said, I have an ebook. I said, I got an e-reader. I said, you don't know what I'm reading. I could be reading smut. I said, for all you know. I said, you don't know what I'm reading. And that's kind of what we got, tickled and got into the discussion of what we each like to read. And, I'm like a big fan of horror. I like Stephen King, but I haven't read any of his stuff lately. Shame on me. But, so that's what we're talking about. So that's when I discovered the podcast that I've started listening to. It's the Losers Club. And it's, Stephen King based. So they start, very beginning with his first work, Carrie. And then there's a little intro synopsis in the beginning of the podcast, because they talk about how, the beginning of the podcast, they were recording out of an apartment. They were all sitting around a Yeti microphone. And then this quality, that you hear right now is better sound quality because now they're in the studio. So the first, 5 books or so, they're in the apartment, and now the rest of the recordings is going to be, studio quality sound, and they break things up. He said when we first started recording, the podcast was like 2 hours long because we talked about everything. So now we break it all up. So I've already listened to Carrie. I listened to Salem's Lot. I listened to, Carrie and Salem's Lot, The Shining, and now I'm in The Stand. Not The Stand, Night Shift. That's the podcast, the episode I'm on now. It's Night Shift, and it's apparently in 2 parts. So, because I think that they go through all the stories in Night Shift. So, all the stories, all the movies, everything. So, nowhere it took 2 parts. But I think they also talk about in the intro of the recording part of the series that they also filmed or recorded that part of the series. In 11 hours, I think. So they did them all back to back, and just recorded that way of thing. And you people are crazy. I had to take breaks. I mean, obviously you got to eat and do all that stuff. And I think they said by the end of it, they were just, tired and crazy and done. So yeah. And it's really, kind of, because they do in the news, in the Stephen King news. And this was the first episode's back from 2017. So they're, talking about King and Trump tweeting stuff and how King feels about this, so it's kind of, you kind of just have to wrap your brain around, this is pre-COVID, so they're doing this pre-COVID, so, and then, they still are dropping episodes, so, because they're just now, going through the, Dark Tower series, and I'm pretty sure that COVID had a lot to do with that, if they couldn't be in a studio, I don't know if they did any Zoom calls or anything like that when they recorded, or did their audio, but is what it is. So that's what I'm listening to. Is that helps make the day go by, faster for work. So I did a couple hours through my earbuds, just getting my ears used to my Samsung earbuds, and then I did the rest just listening on my phone while I was out here working on that project. So that's what I did yesterday. So that's what I got through yesterday on the podcast. So with the 4 challenges that I'm doing is the Pages Challenge, the 100 Years of Wonder Challenge, the Serial Reader Challenge, and then of course the challenge of myself of the 365 hours audio. So that is what I got going on in my life. So I plan on, anything that I'm reading, especially some of the older stuff that I'm reading, published way back when. I'll try to, discuss with you guys. So we'll talk some books and things, especially, you know, what I'm borrowing from the library, what I'm reading, what I'm listening to, all that good stuff. So, you know, that's the getting to know me part. Like I said, I am a reader. I love to read. And of course, that's what sparked the whole, you know, diamond club, the diamond painting thing was, you know, the depression that I was going through due to the medical medication I was taking for my blood clot. Then, you know, I just didn't want to read. I mean, that's a clear sign right there. Something's not right, and that's, you know, what got me into the diamond painting, like I told you before. Had to keep my hands and my brain occupied, because if I didn't, I'd be going and doing stupid things that I didn't need to be doing. So that's, you know, and that's where I am. So I told y'all I turned 49, so I'm 49 now. Oh, you know, all the great things that come with that. So Thursday night, my friend DJ from across the pond was off, so we played on our Xboxes and played really a long time of Rocket League. So we were playing together. I mean, we sucked so bad on Rocket League, and just, it was not our night. And the further along we go, the stupider we were getting, so we were laughing at everything. But it was like, well, it was a little bit after 1, and we were like, yeah, you know, I gotta go to bed, because I gotta get up and go to work in the morning, you know, and I'm working from home, so I can sleep a little bit longer, sleep in a little bit longer, I guess I should say, before I have to run out here and get on. And I knew we were gonna have our stand-up, because our manager was off, so I was like, I wasn't worried about that. Just getting in, you know, getting on. Yeah, at 8 o'clock, I'm supposed to, we didn't get off until 2. So I'm still yawning now because I'm still making up for that sleep. But, so we didn't get off until 2. I'm going to bed at 2. So yesterday, and that was fine, working on the project, wasn't talking a lot, just, you know, trying to get that done. And then, like I said, Mary's helping me catch up on things, so she was doing things for me. Thank goodness that she was doing it, because it probably wouldn't have been a hot mess if I didn't. And I was fine. I was, you know, doing good, functioning well. Wasn't tired. I had, you know, a big Yeti cup of coffee, so that probably helped too. But yeah, and then probably around 4, when I got done with the project, that's when it started to really hit me. I was getting tired. I was sending my friend Mary a Teams message. We're kind of talking back and forth, and I was, you know, telling her that we were talking about like the situation that had come up through email, and I told her I couldn't remember this, and she's like, yeah, it's on my flip chart. She said, my flip chart's at work. She said, we'll just have to go over it, you know, Tuesday when we come in. I was like, yeah. It's like, and I had to look for stuff then, and I had to screenshot it. So I was telling her, I said, and what I was saying is in the message I was saying that I sent the screenshot to myself so that I'd have it Tuesday ready to go when I got confirmation of something being paid, so I could go ahead and close out the state database. But what I typed in was S-I-N-C-E, sense. I sent the screenshot to myself. Myself was spelled M-Y-S-L-E-F-T, myself. And I said, so I corrected the, not the sense part, but I corrected the myself part. And then I said, I was telling her that I was tired. I said, I'm saying I'm tired. I'm sending, I'm tried. And then I had to correct that. And I still didn't correct it right. And she goes, you know, she says, I kind of figured that you were tired. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you figured that. Oh, sorry. I'm glad you figured that out, you know, from what I typed. And I was like, yeah. I said, I didn't go to bed until 2 o'clock in the morning. She says, were you playing Dreamlight? Well, I started out playing Dreamlight, yeah, but that's not what kept me up. So what kept me up was playing Rocket League. So I told her, so no, it was Rocket League. She said, you know, that was my second guess. I'm like, yeah, because she knows that, you know, that when we play together, we stay up way too late. And, you know, there we are. So I'm going to get this. I got a glare. Okay. So that's what I was doing Thursday night before I went to bed on Friday. What the hell? Look, I gotta be able to see the beads, stupid. Oh, I have a light. Oh, I swear, I'm not gonna win here. So that's what I did Thursday night into Friday morning. Should have said Friday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I knew I was only getting like a 5 hours. It takes me about 30 minutes to go to sleep, so I was getting 4.5, you know. And I kind of woke up like later, probably an hour or so into sleeping. That, oh, what time is it? Because I know I'm gonna be getting up soon. That thing. So that's not a peaceful sleep. So, like I said, about 4 o'clock, that's when I was starting to feel it. But I went through the rest of my hour, and then we got off, and then I got a 3-day weekend. So a 3-day weekend. So last night I thought he was gonna be on. He wasn't on last night, so I played some more Disney Dreamlight, trying to go through and get everything cleared out that I possibly can, because you got that 3,000 item limit, and it has the counter up there now where you can see what you have for the 3,000 items. So every time you start the game, it's a new day. Well, for me, every time I start the game, it's a new day. So there's new things out there, new places you gotta dig holes or dig things up, new crafting items, flowers, wood, sand, rocks, whatever that you've gotta pickaxe, pick up, dig out, that go towards your count for your 3,000 items. So last night what I did was the first area I went to was it's the Sunlight Plateau area that I harvested all my crops, put them in the crates, and then threw a rug down on the ground and covered up all the holes so the holes would disappear. So I'm trying to clear out as much as I possibly can from each biome and then decide what I'm going to do about as far as crops are concerned, what I'm going to grow, how many I'm going to grow, and how much I'm going to be able to get away with, because I'm going to have that, limit somewhere of after getting everything cleaned out, and it's going to be a long day process, because just getting everything dug up, the wood, rocks, and things picked up, flowers picked, what's the word? The herbs harvested, crops harvested, and the holes gone. Then I'm gonna be able to figure out what my amount to play with is going to be, because there are some things you can't remove from the biome. So, and that's where I'm having to do is go through them. And I remember removing everything, rocks, trees. I took stuff out of the ponds. Still leaving houses, not messing with that right now. So that's what I'm trying to do, is to get everything that I possibly can out, so that when every day I start or when I'm playing, that whatever's out there is just part of the game and not completely filled up to the 3,000 mark, and see what my window is to play with to growing crops, because I still want to go back to my mistake that I made when I took all my things out of my storage chest, not realizing the storage chest just counts for one, and that's why you can put everything in the storage chest, because it doesn't count. So I sold everything, all my onions and everything, so I'm going to go back and to put that back in. I guess really though, what I'm going to do is I'm kind of like back and forth. I kind of want to put everything back in the chest and have 400 something items worth of crops. Or should I just have 100 items worth of crops, because I just need crops to cook with, and then the rest I can just sell and make money, and then I can buy things. So I finally got Kristoff stall done. What I don't like about that is, now, before it wasn't like this, but now there is a limit to what you can buy. So I can only buy 10 softwood and 10 of each thing. So I got a stall finished yesterday or Thursday, and then went and bought things last night when I was playing. So I did that on the game. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's just a work in progress. Plus I'm still doing the quest, so it's kind of hopefully things won't be too hard to find when I'm removing trees, because the majority of the time you're having to dig stuff up anyway. So hopefully I'll just be running around and wait for till I see a little sparkly thing, then I'll go dig it up. Hopefully it'll be whatever it is, the item that I need when I'm doing the quest. So I'm with going through and doing I got 2 flower quests going on right now, a mini one and a Moana one. So I think the Moana one I finished last night, just, you know, not even paying attention because, you know, I was trying to get some iron to make some iron, I don't know, whatever, however you say that thing, to get that done. I got a crap ton of clay and a crap ton of rich soil and a crap ton of soil, and so starting to lay my storage boxes back out again. So that's what I did. And I just, you know, slowly, I guess, grow the boxes back up to whatever I decide of how many items I'm gonna have, because there were a recipe I wanted to do, but I could only do so many because I only had like 8 tomatoes. I'm like, well, crap! I used to have like 400 and something tomatoes. Now I have none. I gotta go plant some more. I gotta go harvest some more. So that's kind of what the idea is and where I'm at on what I want to do for my crops on Dreamlight. So I don't know yet. I'm just going to go back to fill the chest up and then just have it there. And I think it'd just be easier not to fill it up and then, you know, have 100, always have 100 on hand and then sell the rest. And that goes with, you know, at least in the forest of Valor area, I have like over, you know, 300 at least of the onions planted to grow to sell, you know, so that's my big area. So I'm not getting rid of that area right now because I'm going to get rid of all the other areas as far as crops are concerned. And then, like I said, try to figure out what I can do for each area. And it maybe I may rotate. You know, I may say, okay, if I can have 600 holes or area to grow crops, then I will get rid of my 600 areas or go ahead and do my 600 for my Forest of Valor, all those crops, and then just move it to each biome as I go, and just move and do 600. And then I'll have, you know, 400 whatever to collect. I gotta look what it is in the box again, the storage chest, to see how many I have to have before I start, you know, selling them. And just do that way, just rotate it through biomes. And that's probably what I want to end up doing, especially if I want to have like 600. You know, I can put 600 like in the forest, but I can't put that many on the beach unless I got a really good, nice area cleared out for myself. So that's what I'm hoping to have, is have an area cleared out for myself so that I can grow what I need to grow. So I'm going to check on my audio here and see where my time is, because I don't think, I think my video is like 40 something minutes long. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to finish with you here. So that's kind of where I'm at. What my new year is going to be, or my 2023 year is going to be like. So we're going to be talking books and podcasts and, you know, audiobooks I'm listening to. And, of course, the Dreamlight story saga that I'm dealing with in my crop situation and all that's going on with the game. Because, you know, that's my other things that I do in my downtime, you know, other than sitting here and diamond paint. So that is all I'm going to have for this video. So I will chat with you later. And this video you'll see on Monday, the day that I'm off. Even though I'm recording the audio before then, I've recorded the video way before then. It's not like a couple of days or so ago. But, you know, that's where it is. So I will chat with y'all later. So like I said, y'all have a great week, and this will be Monday's video, so I will talk with y'all probably on Wednesday. That's right. Bye, y'all. Hey, everybody. This is January 2nd's Bible verse is Isaiah 40:31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint.